Welcome back to Views with Hughes, Agenda Free News. This is Jerome Hughes. Excuse me. Now, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, Kathleen Kennedy has led Disney Star Wars into a series of disasters, as you all know now. It's been years of failure, and now we're seeing more evidence of this with Kathleen Kennedy after, having to cancel the Acolyte. And this was a project that had a ton of hype, but under the guidance of Kathleen Kennedy, well, it's officially canceled, as you all know. But on top of that, Kathleen Kennedy is also dealing with the fact that, the Daisy Ridley led movie under Kathleen Kennedy is rumored to be delayed again after 4 failed scripts. That's right. Kathleen Kennedy is struggling yet again. Now, none of us should be surprised by all of this. I mean, after all, Kathleen Kennedy has been at the helm of Lucasfilm, for years. And you know what? It's been one problem after another, and Kathleen Kennedy has overseen so many, missteps that you think someone at Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy will wake up and realize what a disaster this has been. But oh no. Kathleen Kennedy continues to go ahead and keep doubling down on terrible decisions, from pushing forward with the failed Acolyte and everything to actually now delaying the Rey movie once again. But Kathleen Kennedy, as you all know, just simply keeps making these insane moves, like hiring activist directors such as Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy. And honestly, under Kathleen Kennedy, this just screams disaster. But wait, there's more to all of this. Now, this whole Kathleen Kennedy filled chaos, now we hear rumors that, from insiders about Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie, and surprise, surprise, wink, wink, under Kathleen Kennedy, it's reportedly been on indefinite hold. Now, Kathleen Kennedy seems to have a knack for attaching big names to projects and then watching them fall apart, and even hiring activists too. But according to Daniel Rickman, this Waititi Star Wars movie is on hold indefinitely, and under Kathleen Kennedy, this is just the latest in the series of bad news. Now, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Under Kathleen Kennedy, a lot of what comes from these so-called insiders might be so far speculative rumors or whatever, but let's face it. Under Kathleen Kennedy, this Taika news isn't really shocking. Now, a few months ago, Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm didn't really even mention this particular project when they were listing their upcoming films. And under Kathleen Kennedy, that's probably because Taika himself admitted that he was struggling to write the movie. That's no surprise there. And he even said that he had 4 other projects to finish before he'd even touch Star Wars. Now, under Kathleen Kennedy, this tells you everything you need to know. But let's go ahead and be honest here. Let's call a spade a spade. Under Kathleen Kennedy, you see, Disney Star Wars isn't a priority for these directors anymore. You see, thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, we're seeing a massive decline in the importance of Star Wars in Hollywood. Now, if you've got actually a chance to write a Star Wars movie and it's your 5th priority under Kathleen Kennedy, that speaks a lot of volumes about how irrelevant Disney Star Wars has become. Now, before we go ahead and continue with the rest of this, go ahead to be sure to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button on this video, and click the bell notification so that way you're notified of future downloads and updates. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk Taika Waititi's role under Kathleen Kennedy. Now, after what Taika did with Thor: Love and Thunder, which was another disaster, I don't think he should be anywhere near Star Wars, to be honest with you, period, even if it is Kathleen Kennedy stuff. But of course, under Kathleen Kennedy, Taika was given a chance, and under Kathleen Kennedy, he directed an episode of The Mandalorian, and while it had its moments, the Eye of Sauron herself, Kathleen Kennedy, let him turn Star Wars into a joke. Now, under Kathleen Kennedy, you're supposed to feel the weight of the galaxy, the conflict, and the stakes. But now, with Kathleen Kennedy still at the helm, that tone was lost. Now, remember when Krill from The Mandalorian was tragically killed at the end of what episode for season 1? Well, thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, the very next episode starts with a goofy stormtrooper joke. And, thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, it was a slap in the face to the audience. And it showed us that, Taika Waititi's style, encouraged by Kathleen Kennedy, just doesn't fit Star Wars at all. Now, under Kathleen Kennedy, the tone is all wrong. So now that we're hearing that Taika Waititi's movie is on indefinite hold under Kathleen Kennedy, that's not a shock at all. Now, in fact, under Kathleen Kennedy, I'd bet good money that this movie never happens. 10 months ago, Taika admitted that Star Wars wasn't even on his radar, and under Kathleen Kennedy, that's a major red flag. Now, if Kathleen Kennedy was serious about Star Wars, then she'd be hiring directors who put it on the back burner. But Kathleen Kennedy, on the other hand, under her watch, this is the norm. But with Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy, it's a major problem again. Now, under Kathleen Kennedy, we are seeing a pattern here where Star Wars is not a priority for these directors anymore because thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, the franchise has lost its value. But let's be honest here. Under Kathleen Kennedy, Star Wars has become an afterthought. All right. And it's sad, really, because under Kathleen Kennedy, we're seeing like the biggest decline of one of the greatest franchises in cinematic history. And that it's not just Taika's movie. Thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, we'll also hear more about the delays with the Rey movie. Now, since Kathleen Kennedy did introduce that movie, the script still isn't ready, and they're pushing it back. Thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, it's just failure after failure because of the fact that she's not able to work with directors to get the right thing out there. And a lot of fans are hoping that the Rey movie from Kathleen Kennedy never happens, and I don't blame them. I'm one of them. The idea of bringing back Ridley and handing a movie to an activist director like Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy is based under Kathleen Kennedy, a recipe for disaster. But thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, this kind of decision making is all too common. Knowing how Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy operates, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to finish this disaster through, no matter what fans think. All right. And we've all seen that from time to time before. But here's the real issue. Now, thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, all of this from the Acolyte, the cancellation of Acolyte to these indefinite holds and delays is a symptom of a much bigger problem. And that common denominator is Kathleen Kennedy. Now, under Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm is directionless. They can't even get anything off the ground. And even when they do, they can't see it through to the end. Okay. Now, under Kathleen Kennedy, how many Star Wars projects have been announced with fanfare only for them to go ahead and quietly fade away or basically just get canceled? Now, it's all happening all the time, and under Kathleen Kennedy, it's becoming a disturbing pattern, if you ask me. So what exactly does all of this mean for the future of Star Wars, the Disney Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy? Well, will we ever see these movies? Because under Kathleen Kennedy, I doubt we'll ever see a Taika Waititi movie from Star Wars, and he clearly doesn't care about it. And under Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm doesn't seem to care either. But as for the Rey movie, Star Wars New Jedi from Kathleen Kennedy, I do think we'll eventually see some version of it, but they've already brought Ridley back on stage, and under Kathleen Kennedy, they're too committed to the agenda to let it go. But I think they'll actually let it go. But under Kathleen Kennedy, only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, though, Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy is in deep trouble. Now, the rumors, the delays, the cancellations, all of it points to a company that's being ran by Kathleen Kennedy that's struggling to go ahead and stay afloat. And with Kathleen Kennedy still in charge, I don't see things improving anytime soon. Okay. So what do you think about all of this? Is Disney Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy doomed? Will any of these movies ever get made under the guise of Kathleen Kennedy? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you may have this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, and share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already and you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.